Good morning. We are back live for the Coffee Chat show. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the audio as well. Good morning. Oh, there goes the notifications that we are live and online. Alive and well. Happy New Year, everybody. For those of you, hi Jennifer. For those of you that are new to the Coffee Chat show, we are live every Saturday morning, mostly at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Hi Heather. I've been doing the Coffee Chat show since 2016. So we've been doing this a long time. If you're new to the show, you can go to theworkingwarriormom.com. And from there, you can find past episodes on Facebook or YouTube, or you can catch the audio podcast. You can also find free downloadable resources under free stuff. Hi, Missy. Hi, Dodie. Nice to see everybody. Happy New Year. So we've been working with John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we have so far covered laws 1 through 7, I believe. Hi, Lisa. And so chapter 8 in this book is called The Law of Pain. Good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. I am going to take a little bit of a different track. Good morning, Priscilla. Since I'm a prosperity teacher, since I have been teaching mindset and prosperity for over 3 decades, I firmly believe that whatever you call a thing, it becomes. So I'm not a huge fan of naming things that I don't want to see them generate and create more of, right? So I don't like to say things like pain, because then you're just kind of generating more of that. So we'll call this when life throws you something that you don't expect and knocks you on your ass, you have a choice about how you're going to handle that. How are you going to frame that? And so actually this morning we're going to talk about me, and I'm going to walk you through the last 12 days because I have lived out this chapter in great detail over the last 12 days. So it was Christmas evening, and my husband got a cold. And so Christmas night, so not Christmas Eve, but Christmas night, I ended up, just sitting downstairs by myself because he had gone to bed at like 6 o'clock. He wasn't feeling well. No crazy diseases or anything, just not a simple cold, just a nasty cold, right? So I had these big plans. I was planning on the weekend between Christmas and New Year's was going to be so productive, and I was going to, clean my office, and I was going to have everything organized, and I was going to map out my plan for 2023, and I was going to start my new goals book and write in there, and I was ready for like this whole thing. I was going to clean out closets, and then I just got knocked on my ass. I'm not even kidding. I'm like one of the healthiest people. I eat a strict paleo diet. I don't drink. I don't eat processed food at all. I don't eat sugar, blah, 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 blah. I work out. And usually if I'm down, it's like 3 days max, and I bounce right back. Okay. It's been 12 days. 12 of them. Every day has been a little bit better, but definitely not the speed and alacrity to which I'm used to healing myself, right? So life is like that sometimes. You have a plan, you have prepared yourself for a particular thing, and then all of a sudden life goes whoop and throws you something unexpected. And it's how we handle that and how we frame that goes forward to create what comes next, right? Alyssa, I'm feeling better every day. Thank you. I'm actually good this morning. I woke up and felt like I finally turned the corner. I got reflexology and I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and I'm on my way to an acupressure healing session right after the show. So I'm good compared to how I was. That is the reason why we canceled the show last week. We didn't want to post really that I wasn't feeling well because I don't like to put that out there. And so that is the reason that we were not live last Saturday. So I do apologize for that, but there was just no way that was happening. So let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about when something comes at you that you didn't expect, be it a seeming medical condition or a financial condition, or you'll see that I posted something last night on the page about, not stewing and sitting in negative, shitty thoughts, not, serving up tea and scones for them to sit around in your mind and for you to keep kibitzing and going over and over in your head about all of what isn't looking like it's working, right? So that's what tends to happen. So, picture me the first couple days thinking, oh, I'll knock this out, no problem. Doing like fresh garlic and ginger and all the stuff that I usually do. So it goes like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and every day, a little better, but just not that, like, whoo, that I'm used to after just a couple days. And so by day, like, I would say 9, I just had a meltdown, right? I'm crying. I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. How did this happen? And, I had to really walk myself through kind of this process that I'm going to talk to you about, right? So when you get served up an adverse looking circumstance, right, you start to manufacture a response to that. You either are in shock or you're upset or you start to go into a reaction about it. So you've got to quell that, first of all. You've got to make up sort of a tape of where you want it to go, right? This whole time I've been praying, I've been saying affirmations about, my health, my regeneration of my body. Even on mornings where I did not feel like doing that, and there were so many times here over the last 12 days that I just wanted to give into that, like, chatter in my head, right? Poor me, blah, blah, blah. So managing an adverse seeming circumstance or transforming such a circumstance, which we're going with, John Maxwell is calling this a painful experience, and I'm calling this experiences that you don't expect and that you didn't plan for, right? So you lose a job, you bounce a check, you don't have money to pay rent, somebody leaves you, somebody does something completely unexpected and hurts you, your health is challenged, whatever seemingly adverse condition or circumstance presents itself. In that moment, in those moments, we have choices, right? Every moment we have a choice to reframe. I did a lot of reframing over the last 12 days. I have been studying these prosperity and mindset principles since I was 12. I am 54. That is a long time. And I still, on the daily, was challenged here to reframe. So I know how difficult it is for someone that's new to this stuff or just being introduced to the fact that you can manage your mindset and take control of your thinking. You have to be vigilant. It is challenging. Remembering that the law of attraction, right? How you feel is your set point for the law of attraction. Jennifer Harvey, thank you for the Christmas card, by the way. I see that you just popped on there. It is it is not simple to change your thinking, okay? It is not simple to do that. Tracy's saying I sound like the GPS. When you're lost, it goes recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. Honest, yes, that, exactly that. Reframe, 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 reframe. It's especially challenging. My husband is newer to the study of kind of new thought, metaphysical principles, all of that, right? I've been studying my whole life, and he's just in his third year of his, studying it, okay? So it's even more difficult when you're living with a person who's also being challenged in some circumstance, and they are not as entrenched in managing mindset as you are. So that's probably the circumstance for a lot of you. You probably live with people that maybe are not on the same personal development path as you, or maybe they are, but they're newer in their path or whatever. So that it makes it even more challenging, right? We're gonna put aside words like difficult and pain. We're gonna change those words into challenging and unexpected circumstances, and opportunities to grow, right? Because when life serves you up something that you don't expect, you are being served with an opportunity to grow. I happen to be a firm believer in that I bring everything that comes into my life, I brought it there. So every day in this last 12 days, I keep asking God, what do I need to learn? What do you want to show me? What do I have to see? What am I missing? What do I need to navigate so that I can heal myself? What is in my way of my healing? I've been asking, if you looked in my journal for the last 12 days, every day I'm asking these questions and coming up with, different stuff, right? So I recognize that I've spent a lot of the last probably 2 decades people pleasing, saying yes to things that I don't really feel like doing, inviting people for holidays that I really don't want at my house, and doing a lot of what I think people expect me to do rather than what I actually want to do. Now, the law of attraction says that however I feel is what I'm going to bring into my life. So if I am in fact doing things that I don't really want to do, then how I feel inside is not going to be great, right? Because I'm doing something that I really don't feel like doing, or I'm taking responsibility for other people's stuff, and it's exhausting. So I've done a lot of soul searching over the last 12 days, a lot. Also, looked at trauma stuff in my childhood and did a lot of release and forgiveness about that. So I have been sitting, I feel like, when I tell you guys about that analogy of the mud puddle, right? And I say to you, if you're in the middle of a mud puddle and you keep fighting against it and you keep trying to get up and you keep being determined, I'm going to get out of it, and you keep falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down, finally, you just go, F it. I'm in the mud puddle. Let's make mud pies. So that is where I, have been sitting, right? Because I'm obviously aware that I share this analogy with you guys over and over again. I'm obviously aware that how I'm stewing is going to be what I'm creating. So consciously over the last 12 days, really working with myself and reframing, recalculating, and just, looking, what do I need to see? What do I need to see? What do you want to show me? What do I have to learn here? And so I do believe that every seemingly, adverse circumstance, or every opportunity for growth that presents itself to us, and some of them we choose, and some of them just hit us like a bat on the head or a softball in the chest. And And in that moment, you have a choice. Even if someone passes away unexpectedly, or someone leaves you unexpectedly, or whatever the case may be, in that moment where you just got knocked on your ass and you're on the ground and you're like, okay, in that moment, you get to choose. You get to choose to rise to the occasion and accept the opportunity for growth, or you get to start fighting against what's happening, which honest to God is just going to make you more miserable and put you in a shitty mood, and it's going to perpetuate the circumstance, right? Because anything that you resist persists. If I am fighting against something, it's going to keep coming at me because I am not looking to see where my opportunity to grow is. I am just saying, you MF, I am, right? And when I'm pushing against it, I am inviting it to stay here. Werner Erhard says, what is, and what isn't. What is, and what isn't. So, I got knocked on my ass with this seeming cold situation. I could have just been pissed off for the entire last 12 days. Or I could have just done what I've been doing and I just keep asking, where is the lesson? What do I need to see? What did I maybe think I was planning for this year that is not? Maybe I just need some more time to sit here and think about what's next. And so, Angie's saying that has happened to her. It is not easy when you get knocked on your ass by something and you have to get up. And in the getting up, you have a choice. You can get up with enthusiasm, no matter what the hell just happened, or you can get up pissed off and fighting against what is, and then that will just get perpetuated for you, right? So John Maxwell in this chapter, he's talking about how you can reframe a quote-unquote painful experience. I particularly do not like the word pain. It's not that I'm not a realist. I would call this last 12 days. It was not fun. It has not been fun. It has been the seemingly most challenging 12 days that I've had in 7 years' time. Okay? So that's how the last 12 days has been for me. In each moment, every day, I have a choice to reframe, like Tracy's GPS, recalculate. You have the same choice, okay? So it's a new year, and where can you take something that has occurred or is occurring for you that is not your favorite, that you feel like you didn't really ask for or want, yet it's there, and how can you transform that into an opportunity for growth? How can you reframe that circumstance, situation, relationship, whatever it is? How can you reframe that into an opportunity for growth? Jennifer is asking me, Jen, are you asking me instead of pain, what word would I use? I would actually use either challenge or opportunity for growth or lesson or seemingly unwelcome experience. How can you reframe? That's what I'd love for you to look at over this next week, right? Because, you know, mostly we had been talking about like planning and, you know, making this growth plan, and maybe there are some of you that maybe there's still some residue of old things, old conditions, old circumstances, or maybe you're in the middle of a seeming circumstance that isn't really your favorite, that is basically unwelcome, you feel like. And before we can move you into what's new and what you want to create, we've got to help you reframe what is, right? We've got to help you reframe what is. Dawn is saying that reframing has saved her from many depression issues. Reframing means choosing a different way of looking at what's happening. So instead of saying that the last 12 days was whatever, I could say to you, the last 12 days has been an incredible growth opportunity, a transformative opportunity for me to rearrange myself and to grow and to sit and think about some things. Reframing is really powerful. Reframing can help you tune that mindset to a different channel. Most of us, when we get hit with something that is seemingly catastrophic or that we don't expect or we don't think we want or we don't like or whatever, and then you go into you start a deep reaction about that, and then you get mad, and then you get sad, and then you get frustrated, and then it's like this whole thing makes it 100 times worse. When you can take that seemingly unwelcome, seemingly adverse opportunity for growth and sit in the mud puddle and say, okay, I'm in here. I'm in the mud puddle. What you got? What's my opportunity for growth here? How can I be different? How can I grow? What can I reframe? Where's my opportunity? Okay? Even coughing and blowing your nose and all the shit that I've been doing for the last 12 days. I'm just like, okay, what do I need to see? What do I need to learn? Please help me. So Dawn's saying that she's learning to pause before reacting. That is vital, right? That is vital. So life winds up, throws you a ball, hits you in the chest, knocks you on your ass. Now you're on the ground. You got the wind knocked out of you. And as you get up, you have a choice. You have a choice. You get to reframe what happened. If you wish, you get to reframe the person leaving. You get to reframe the financial catastrophe. You get to reframe the seemingly physical whatever. You get to reframe. As you rise, you have a choice. How will you take this and go forward? Will you be a victim or will you be a victor? Will you manage your mindset? Will you reframe what's happening? What just happened? Or will you allow it to dictate your future? That's your choice. You get to choose. You get to choose. Erica says, nice to see you, Erica, by the way. She says she has started doing that a lot in the last year, reframing. Reframing is a powerful tool. You can take old stories and old situations that you might be dragging along behind you. And you can choose also to reframe those so that they become a powerful contribution to the future that you want to create. Our theme always with the Working Warrior Mom and Revealing Leaders and my work is helping people to create futures unlike the past. That is my life's work. I want people to see that possibility exists, and I want to show you how to create a future unlike the past. Tracy, there's our mission. Tracy and I were just talking about writing something down for the Working Warrior Mom, because I'm actually going to start to create some content, you guys. We're going to put up a teachable school, I think, and so there'll be some master classes that you can pay for and take, and they'll be very low priced. And then we're going to do, I think, a master something with me that's going to last about 5 months. And I think we're going to call it the Practical Prosperity Academy, and it will start in the summer. And it will be, it will be a fairly high ticket item, but you will work with me intensively over a 5 or 6 month period. So stay tuned for all those different things. But I'm actually going to start to put stuff out there, some things that you can actually walk through and go through, that I lead you through, content and things like that. And we're going to do some virtual events with me this year as well. Because I really want to dig in and start working with those of you that really want to do this work about how to create yourself a future unlike the past. This reframing is a powerful tool. Not only can you do it for a present circumstance or situation, you can also do it for the past. You can reframe what happened back there and make a different story about it. Remember, we're going to work with Kendra Hall, her book this year, but you remember last year when I read it myself, I highly recommended it. She talks about creating a new story for yourself. We are going to, we're going to dig into that. I think it's the second book we do this year. After John Maxwell's book, we're going to cover Atomic Habits for a short period of time to help create new ways of being, right? New habits, because your habits, what you do every day, that goes forward to create your future. So let's reframe the experiences and the situations and circumstances that are not our favorite. So this week, let's begin to reframe. Let's look at what can be reframed. How could I reframe what's happening now? How can I reframe some things that I don't like that happened in the past? And what is my opportunity here to create myself a future unlike my past? What can I reframe? Where is my opportunity to reframe? That is the question that I'd love for you to live in for this week. I'm famous for asking you to live in a question. Where can I reframe? What can I reframe? What can I reframe? Okay, so that is where I'm leaving you. Visit theworkingwarriormom.com, and on there you can find all kinds of free downloadables. You can also access all the versions of the show. Show goes up on YouTube a couple days after it's live here on Facebook. It also sits on Facebook in the video section, and also the audio podcast goes up, right? So watch that. I will see you next Saturday morning. And you are always welcome to email me if you have questions about the content that we've covered. I recommend those of you that want to get a little bit more in depth with the content that we're covering, and also those of you that want first access to these things, the work with me, you'll want to join the Warrior Mindset group. That is a Facebook group that is off of the Working Warrior Mom page. It's called Warrior Mindset. You do have to answer some questions and agree to our terms and ask to be admitted. But we do post things every single day in there that are based on what we talked about on Saturday morning. So I encourage you to join that group if you like. Okay, I ran a little over 30 minutes this morning, so I apologize for that. Visit us at theworkingwarriormom.com, and we'll shut the podcast, and we will see you next Saturday morning. And I'll see you in the Warrior Mindset group. I do post in there also. Tracy posts every day, and I post in there as well. Okay.